Hello, hello. I am Coach Cori. I am so excited to share with you today Babies and Breast Cancer Part 3. And as I've been thinking about sharing this story, I realized there's no way I can tell my entire story in, three short videos. But I wanted to share, my mindset and talk about manifestation in it because I guess I want other people to be aware of the fact that they can also create a magical life. They can heal their body from the inside out, and your mindset is a big, big part of that. I think about what I shared yesterday, going through chemo, and gosh, that was such a challenging time in my life, and going through those IVF treatments to be left with nothing. It was such a heartbreaking thing, and I was thinking about it, and I was remembering what really got me through those really hard moments, and actually every single day of the cancer process, was gratitude. I would remember to live in gratitude, be grateful for the people around me. And, there were so many powerful people in my life at that time, and still are, that women that showed up for me and supported me, my family, my friends. I was so blessed to have such a wonderful community surround me. And, I'm a believer in energy, and I think that positive energy through the prayers and through their thoughts and through, supporting me, because my husband didn't work when I went through treatments and when I had my mastectomy. And so, people shared a GoFundMe. And so there was just so many magical things that happened during that time. And I'm so grateful for everyone that showed up. So thank you if you're watching. But I remember to live in gratitude, and I still live in gratitude. And I think that's a big part of why I have the life I have today, and the business I have, and the husband I have, and the wonderful children, is because of my mindset and the fact that I choose to live in gratitude. When I hear people complaining or whining, and I'm like, just live in gratitude, be grateful. You are so blessed, and you are so lucky to have this life. And so often people just live in this place of complaint. And I know, because I was that person, back before 2013, before I started my self-development journey. And there's probably still moments in my life where I live in complaint rather than gratitude. But because I have so much awareness around gratitude and how it's really transformed my life, it's something that I connect to. And so, I've shared my story over the last few days, I'm like, there's no way I'll ever be able to share everything that happened during the last 3 or 4 years. But I do hope that me sharing that my mindset and manifestation and positive energy really helped me to heal, and it helps me to grow. And so I wanted to dive into the next part. So yesterday I shared about my chemo journey. My last round of chemo, I believe, was July 21st of 2021. And then I had my mastectomy a month later on my left breast. And man, chemo's brutal. I mean, my hair continued to fall out till October. Having a mastectomy was really hard. So grateful my husband took time off of work and was home with me and took care of me. I had my son was 3.5, so I couldn't pick him up. But I remember that time just really living in gratitude. Even the day I had a mastectomy, and maybe it was because I was still probably high on drugs, but I was in the hospital, and they had told me that they had found hardly any cancer left. It was just specks that were left. I just was so grateful. I remember taking a picture, I was almost bald, but just living in gratitude. And that was such a transformational thing for me. And so if you're watching this and you're going through anything in your life, maybe it's, a hard thing like cancer, maybe it's a hard thing like not being able to have a baby, but living in gratitude can really transform your mindset and help you to continue moving forward, even when shit hits the fan, even when it's hard. Even when it's heartbreaking. So, I had my mastectomy in August, and then I very quickly got an infection after it. So I ended up having a second surgery. I think it was November 8th of 2021. And since then I haven't had any surgeries. I just needed a break. So, all of this happens. I still want a baby, right? I still want that next little person to come into my life. I had my vision written out, and I would read it every single morning saying that I had another baby. And there's an injection they gave me when I went through chemo it was called goserelin, and it basically shuts down your ovaries to try to protect eggs if they're there. And I was on this. I got my last injection January 2022 because I wanted it out of my system. I wanted to be able to try again for another baby. And so, I think it was in May of 2022 when I finally, like, my body started feeling like itself again. Not always 100%, but better than it was. And I connected with my fertility doctor. So this is May of 2022. And I said, I want to have another baby. I need to find out my chances. So I went and I did some blood work. And then he called me probably a week later and told me that if I wanted to have another baby, my chances were less than 5%. Like, it was probably not going to happen for me because of my age. May of 2022, I think I was turning 41. So, right, I'm not in my 30s, not in my 20s. And I had gone through cancer, I'd gone through chemo, I'd gone through these hard things. And, we'd already been having a hard time before cancer. So, he says, if you want to have another baby, you need to do embryo adoption. And, I think embryo adoption is magical and wonderful, but like, I just knew, and this is the thing, like, through all of my hard things with cancer and fertility, I really decided to trust my intuition and let that guide me, like, so much. I just, because even in, I think it was November, maybe it was October, I'd had a meeting with a radiologist. They wanted me to do radiation on my left side. And I just didn't feel good about it. And so I chose not to do it. So I didn't do radiation, which is lucky because that infection, I had to have surgery. If I was doing radiation, my skin probably would have been wrecked and I wouldn't have been able to do it. So all things worked out well for me in that aspect. But it's May of 2022. I have less than 5% chance. And he says you can do embryo adoption, but if you do embryo adoption, then you again have to like put all these hormones in your body. And I was just like, I am not doing that again. Like, I was given hormones and I got breast cancer, and I'm not saying it's your fault, but it obviously pissed it off. So I just didn't feel good about that. And I just knew, like, I have my son, my older son is going to be 6 next month. And me and my husband just knew we wanted another one that was ours. Like, I love my son so much. And I just knew that we were supposed to have another baby that was ours. And so my doctor told me I wasn't going to, less than 5% chance, which I just was like, I'm not going to believe it. I don't want to believe that. And so I'm just choosing not to. And so I started to really focus on manifestation. And I don't know if any of you know who Joe Dispenza is. He's Dr. Joe Dispenza. He is awesome. And through cancer treatments, even before I had cancer, like, I'd listen to him, and he's a guy who's all about, manifestation. Your mind can change your body. You can heal yourself. And so a lot of his work really helped me through cancer, because I was like, okay, well, if he can heal his spine, I can heal cancer. And, so I did. And then with him saying, you're not going to be able to have another baby, I was like, nope. So I every night, starting in May, after they told me this, I would start to visualize every night as I was going to bed, like, how it would feel to be pregnant, how it would feel to have that baby. I would visualize myself pregnant, just feeling that joy in my body, imagining holding that baby. And I just knew. And so this is like started in May of 2022, and I just kept doing it every single night, right? And I just knew that feeling how it felt was really, really important too. And so I really made sure that, like, I felt it. There's nights where I would lay there and I would be visualizing this and I would, like, cry because I just knew it was meant to happen. And going through this time, there were some people in my life that were like, ooh, I don't want, maybe how long are you going to try for? Like, maybe this isn't meant to be. I think it was like a few weeks. Maybe it was, I think like October, the beginning. I think it was around October of 2022. My husband, like, sits me down and he's like, I just don't think it's going to happen. And I know that, like, you really have your heart set on us having another baby, but it just might not happen. And I was like, no, it's going to happen. I just knew, like, I just knew. And I think that's that belief, right? That self-belief, right? That faith you have in something is real, right? And I had so much self-belief and so much faith that I was going to have another baby. It was like a couple weeks later, the beginning of November of 2022, I had felt, I guess, an inspiration, if you will. Like, I was taking a bath one night and I just was like, sitting in my bath, meditating, thinking like, okay, tell me what I need to do to get pregnant. And I like felt this impression to get ovulation sticks, which I'm like, you are freaking kidding me. I have tried ovulation sticks for 3 years and nothing's happened. And I just felt like, okay, you need to get some ovulation sticks. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna try again. And I did. And I like one day was ovulating and I was like, yeah, so excited, like so excited. I told my husband, I'm like, Jake, I'm ovulating. Oh my gosh. Like, cause it just didn't really ever happen for me. And so I was super stoked. So I just like felt like so grateful for that impression. Like right. That's my intuition. And I let it guide me through so much of this journey. And then it was, that first couple weeks in November of 2022, I took a pregnancy test and it was positive. And this was like 6 a.m, super early. My husband at that time worked like early morning shifts. Like he'd go in at 4 a.m, then he'd get off around like 1:30. And so, I would get up early and I would like, I'm going to pee on the sticks, see what happens. I did it a lot and I got a lot of negatives and a lot of disappointment. But this one morning it like was positive and I just was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And I call my husband at work and I'm bawling, like crying. He's like freaking out because it's 6 a.m. and he's like, what's happening? What's going on? And I tell him I'm pregnant and it was just like, finally, right? Like that belief, that faith, all of the hard stuff I had to go through, I got to this point. And so, when I found out I was pregnant, I fixed my mantra on, I'm so grateful I am pregnant with this happy, healthy, perfect baby. And in my vision that I had written out, I was having a girl. But then I found out that I was having a boy and I was just so happy, so grateful. I know what to do with little boys. I already had one. So, so excited that Lincoln gets to be a big brother. And yeah, I mean, I will tell you pregnancy is hard. I don't enjoy it. I'm grateful, that I was able to. And I really think that, a lot of those times when I was manifesting, I wasn't just visualizing the baby. I was also would do like, I would heal my body. Like I would see a white light coming down and just like healing my ovaries or my uterus or whatever. Like I was like, whatever needs to be healed, heal it. And, I think all of that faith and belief, and it really helped me to become pregnant with my chances being less than 5%. And I will tell you, Nixon is the most beautiful, magical baby. He is 6 months old now. He was born on August 1st. He is just wonderful. He is the happiest baby. And I'm so lucky. And I attribute a lot of that to like, my mantra when I was pregnant, like I am pregnant with this happy, healthy, perfect baby boy. And he is just that way in every essence and everyone loves and adores him. So it's awesome to see how miracles happen. It's definitely a lot of it, I know, was my mindset and my belief and my manifestation, but I think it was also that love that I was surrounded by, and that support. And I know maybe not everyone believed that I would heal myself from cancer or I would, heal my body to have a baby. And I did. And it's just amazing to be in this place now where I'm just like, I have everything that I've ever wanted. And I'm just so grateful. I had to go through a lot of hard things and I look back, my word of the year of 2021 was growth. And I didn't just have growth that year, but the next year and the following, and I've had hard things even after being pregnant. And I, again, just go back to living in gratitude for the health I have, for the baby I have, for the great husband I have, for the wonderful son, my wonderful parents, like my friends, my family, even my online community, like through everything. There are so many of you that I don't even know. And you guys have just reached out or commented, and it just means the world to me. So thank you so much. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about my story. And thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you for being you. My story, the things I've gone through is why I coach. It's why I help other women transform their lives. I believe in it. It's why I wrote a book last year. If you don't know, my book, Thrive and Flourish, Self-Development Strategies for High-Achieving Women. But I wrote this book to help women transform their lives because I know it's possible. I've done it. I've helped so many clients do the same thing, whether they were in toxic relationships. I've helped them find their self-love and their confidence and grow. I've helped women just achieve really big goals and get unstuck and really step into their power. And so I love coaching. I've been through a lot, and I would love to work with you if you are somebody that is ready for transformation. If you want more joy, if you want more abundance, let's do it. I have 4 spots open for my coaching program, and so I would love to connect. I would love to hear your story. Send me a DM with the word transform to learn more, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you guys so much again for being a part of my community, for cheering me on. I'm very, very grateful. I live in gratitude every day for you. And yeah, thanks. I'll see you soon.